Yo, what's going on, people? We back for another one. That's right, we back for another one, y'all. Got another banger for y'all, man. But first, man, let me thank everybody for sharing, and subscribing, man. Keep it going. I need y'all to keep it going, man. I'm on a race to 100 subscribers. That sounds like a little bit, but I'm gonna be happy if I get 100 subscribers because I'm gonna keep it rolling 100 at a time. But I need y'all to keep sharing, and subscribing. And when y'all share to somebody, tell the people, if y'all like this content, subscribe to bro page. That's all y'all got to do. It's gonna take everybody help for us to be able to get down, keep this thing going. And I'm gonna need y'all, man. Definitely, man. Now, who's staying out the way? Tell me. Who's staying out the way out there? Because I'm staying out the way. I'm definitely staying out the way. I'm cooling in the crib, you know what I mean? On the weekend, relaxing, I'm good. But people think the boring life, man, is goddamn not where it's at. Even dudes my age think like sometimes like just chilling in the crib or just not always out all the time. They think that's a boring life. And that's false, man, because at the end of the day, I'm enjoying my life regardless. Like, I don't have to go out and do a lot of stuff and compete and show a lot of people what I can do or what I got and all that just to, you know what I mean, have fun, man. Sometimes I just have fun in the crib with my wife or I'm chilling dolo. Or sometimes I'll go out. But either way, my ass is staying out the way. So that's what I need y'all to do, man. Just stay out the way out there, man. Take y'all time. Don't too much overthink stuff. You know what I mean? Go with your instinct and just stay our ass out the way, man. Cause shit real out there, man. The streets getting crazy. Like, for real, everything is getting watered down. The drug game, the scam game, the robbing game, like all the crazy crimes, that shit is getting watered down, man. It's starting to look bad to go to jail, man. So I encourage all my dudes out there to stay out that damn way. That's all y'all got to do. But the story I got for y'all today, man, is about when gangs first came to Sussex too. Now, I'm from Virginia. That's where I'm from. In Virginia, I know we're late to a lot of stuff. We late to fashion. We late to a whole lot of stuff. So in other states, I'm pretty sure they had gangs. Long time ago in the 90s, the 80s probably, 70s. Virginia didn't have no gangs till about 2002. That's what I'll say. Now, I was already in penitentiary in 2002, so I wasn't able to witness how it actually transformed with the gangs actually in my town, which is Norfolk. I wasn't out for that. But from what I was hearing, they was transforming like goddamn Voltron out there. That's what I heard, you know what I mean? And it was crazy hearing it before you actually was able to see it, because the reason why I say able to see is because they weren't in jail. They wasn't in prison. Even when I was in the beach jail, I didn't meet a blood or a crip. I got to receiving, I still didn't meet one. When I got to Sussex, I still didn't meet one. I didn't, man. Like, they was nowhere to be found. Like, there was no gangs. That's crazy, y'all. Like, just imagine no gangs in penitentiary right now. Do you know how it is in penitentiary right now with the gangs? It's a million of them. It's a lot of their ass, I'm telling you. It's a lot of you outnumbered in there, I'm telling you. So it was crazy witnessing that shit now. In 2003, 4, I'll say 2003 or 4, it was a dude, he was the first dude. His name was Kareem, I think. I think it was Kareem, but he was one of the first dudes I actually met from Roanoke. Now, it was crazy meeting a dude from Roanoke because, you know, now I'm starting to, like, for real, before I even came to prison, I didn't even know about all these other towns. You know what I mean? All I know about was Tidewater and Richmond. That's all I ever knew about. I barely knew about Petersburg. I started meeting them in penitentiary. But as I started meeting different dudes, I ended up meeting a dude named Kareem from Roanoke. Now, this dude actually was a great basketball player. Ask anybody that was on Sussex. I'm talking about point guard from hell. He was a monster. Back then, can dribble, can shoot. You can tell he played somewhere under the whistle with somebody coaching him. Like, he had one of those type of games. Like, he wasn't one of those just street ballers. Like, he can do the street baller stuff because I think originally he was from New York. But the word I had got was that he came down here to play basketball in Roanoke and ended up catching a case, which was, if he on Sussex with me, it's a real damn case. So more than likely he had double digits. So that was crazy. But when I met him, he was a cool dude. But he wasn't doing no gang stuff in the beginning because he moved in there dolo at first. But out of nowhere, another dude moved in there from Roanoke, and this dude actually was they was homeboys. But what I started seeing was when we lock down, when it's time to lock down, like 9:30 or something, it's time to lock down for the rest of the night, you gonna see dudes dapping up their homeboys. Yo, I'ma holler at you tomorrow, bro. Holler at you tomorrow. Boom, holler at you. I used to actually see them do the gang handshake. So I didn't know what the hell it was at first. But that was the first time I witnessed like they used to just, it didn't look whack. It looked like they was in sync with it. It was perfect. It was a perfect handshake. And I used to be like, damn, what the hell is that? So one day I hollered at bro. I was like, oh, hey, look. Because me and him was jive all right. Me and him ain't had no problems. He was a dude from New York. But at the end of the day, he wasn't like a dude, like, you know what I mean? He wasn't like one of them old House of Diddy guys. He wasn't like, you know what I mean, rude, like don't want to talk to nobody else. Nah, he was cool. Me and him was cool. So one day I asked him, hey bro, what you got going on, bro? What's up with the handshake? He was like, oh, yo, we blood, yo. You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all blood? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn. Crazy. They was the first ones I met. Word, they was the first ones. I can't remember his man name, but me and Kareem ended up, like, me and him didn't go long. We went probably like 04, 05, then I forgot, he went somewhere else. But his man actually stayed there like my whole time on Sussex. So me and his man got cool. So they was one of the first people that I ever met that was in the gang. Now, still no Crips, it was just Bloods. So, boom, out of nowhere, I'm hearing about how it is in Norfolk. About how the Bloods is moving in, out Ocean View, out Uptown, Northview. I'm hearing about this stuff, y'all. People are giving me the word. I'm meeting dudes from the town, dudes talking to their peoples, they getting the word like, yo, it's crazy out there. You know what I mean? So I was hearing about everything that was going down. Actually, when the blood started out Ocean View, Northview, Berkeley, all that, I heard about all of it. You know what I mean? So with the gangs on the street forming like that, of course it's crime, y'all. So with the crime being like that, of course they would have to start coming to prison. So a lot of these dudes started coming to prison. So I'm telling y'all, out of nowhere, I'm telling you, like, remember how I told y'all how I just woke up and it was weed everywhere? Like, this is no bullshit. I woke up and it was Bloods everywhere. You started seeing. Now, I'm gonna say at least probably once a month, maybe every other month, you're gonna see a busload of people coming in to Sussex. It's always gonna be the new intake dudes that's coming up there. Now, they coming from the same place I came from because everybody have to go to receiving, but they're coming to, after they leave receiving, they're coming to prison, which is Sussex, the real prison. So we probably get a bus, I'll say every other month or something like that. I can't really remember how frequent it was, but probably every other month. But I started seeing when they bring people in, this is my word, when they bring people in, 6 out of 10 people were Bloods. Now, don't get me wrong. You know in Tidewater has a heavy crime rate. Richmond has a heavy crime rate. So I'm going to say in the beginning, I didn't see nothing from Richmond coming in that yet. Because the older dudes from Richmond kind of like that was already down bitten. They used to look down on that gang shit kind of like how the older dudes from Tidewater that was down bitten used to look at it. But you know, just being gone so long, y'all know shit change. Shit changes fast when you're doing years in prison. You see a lot of shit change. So 6 out of 10 dudes that was on the bus, gang members. It was crazy. So out of nowhere, it's just a lot of their ass. And when I say a lot of their ass, like I met the 2 first dudes that I ever met that were Bloods. And out of nowhere, probably a couple months later, 2-3 months later, you just started seeing them come in. And as they coming in, you know, they still fresh to it. Like on the street, I don't know how it was on the street or who they was beefing with or not. But I know once they got numbers on Sussex, and it didn't take long to get numbers. All it took was they started coming up there. As they coming up there, other dudes coming up there. So in Virginia prison system, y'all, it's always dudes from New York. You know, dudes from New York come to Virginia, no matter the town, no matter the city, they come to Virginia to get money. You know what I mean? So they get locked up sometime in the process. So in the Virginia system is a lot of New York dudes, not like overpowering us, but like they in the system. It's New York dudes in the system. Now, they started bringing some dudes from other spots. And these 2 dudes so happened to be a little older, and they was actually the leaders, kind of. And I think they became the leaders because they was from New York. And you know the word I was getting, the blood thing was coming from New York. So when these dudes was in the system, they came to Sussex. So when they came, next thing you know, they just started coming from everywhere. So now you just see them kind of looking like organized slightly because it was a lot of them. And like every building, like 88 people in each pod, 4 pods in the building. And it's 4 buildings. Just imagine how many Bloods there was, man. I still didn't see no Crips. I promise you, it was a whole shitload of Bloods. Like, it started getting to the point they didn't have nobody to beef with for real, because there wasn't really no Crips. So when I finally started seeing a couple of Crips come up there, like, there's no disrespect towards none of the gangs. What I'm talking about right now, I'm just talking about what I witnessed, because this is a fact. At first, it's like, it was hard being a Crip. It was hard being a Crip, I'm telling you. Now, shit changes through the years, but in the beginning, it was hard being a Crip. And I kind of understand it was hard because they were outnumbered. I seen how it was on Sussex. I can imagine how it was on other compounds. Like, they was just outnumbered, and that's all it was. It was too many goddamn Bloods. Now, the Bloods start not only coming in from Tidewater, they start coming in from goddamn Richmond. So now it's Bloods in Richmond and Tidewater and the outskirt towns. There's Bloods. So it's blood every goddamn where. There are Bloods all over the compound. You start to see them. I told y'all we can wear the do-rags. We had different colored do-rags. They didn't give a shit back then. Dudes, it was red do-rags every goddamn where. Every goddamn where. And not only that, you can just see them. You know when it's them, because a lot of dudes didn't walk in big packs. Like, you know what I mean? Back then, dudes won't walk in the yard with fucking 20 dudes and shit like that. That's what they used to do. They used to walk around with like 20 deep on the yard. You know what I mean? They 20 deep on the yard. They having a meeting. They over here on this side of the yard talking to the other yard, and they 20 deep. It's 20 deep in this yard, 20 deep in that yard. They having a meeting across the fence. It was crazy. It was a lot of their ass. No bullshit. They was super deep. They was super duper deep. I get on their props. When they first came in that joint, they still super deep. But I'm talking about in the beginning, just seeing how that shit just formed slowly but surely. Every time a bus roll in, it was Bloods. They got to the point, like, when niggas see blood, when niggas see a bus, when the new intake bus come in, niggas was just walking and seeing them niggas. And like, when some dudes, when they didn't say shit, they'll just throw the gang sign up to see if you in the shit. And you'll see a nigga throw it back. Next thing you know, they linking. They in the building, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of them. So back to the Crips though, man. Like, for real, when I started seeing Crips, the Crips actually, it wasn't a lot of them, man. Like, I'm telling you, it was a few of them. It was a few of them, man. And they was just outnumbered, man. And I can remember one time on Sussex, probably like 05, it's probably like 05, you know what I mean? I remember they called, we coming off the yard, I'm going back to Fort Building. They called the code, and when the police called the code, they called the code to wherever the situation is going down at. You can hear it on the walkie-talkie. Like, we might be coming off the yard, the COs, you'll hear their walkie-talkies go off, and they'll be like, code such and such, such and such, come to the 2 building. So they called the code to go to 2 building, and this particular time I'm talking about, there were Crips on the yard. Now, it wasn't a lot of them, though. I'm going to say out the whole compound, 6 Crips. This is back then, my word, on the whole compound, like 6 Crips. So we hear the jump go off. But this is still strange now, because I'm like, the Bloods are so deep, they had nobody to really beef with and shit. Like, shit is diplomatic and penitentiary. A lot of the Bloods that was coming in was from Norfolk, majority, and Richmond. I'm going to say Tidewater and Richmond. Now, the majority of them, we're going to have a leader out of the city. Like, it's going to be somebody you know from your town that got big rank, or just like on some straight bullshit. That's a Blood. So anytime it's something going down and nigga get into it with a Blood, some majority of the time it was turning out to be a fair one, because this dude fuck with this dude, that dude fuck with that dude. So it was diplomatic slightly. So it's never no big brawls. I didn't see brawls and shit like that with gangs in other cities and shit like that till I got to Lawrenceville. That's when I saw that. But in the beginning on Sussex, like, every time something break off, a dude used to always want to fix a gang member. Like a neutral nigga, they used to love it. But and if they get a fair one, they love it. They would go and sell Bloods win sometime. And I knew a lot of go hard Bloods. I ended up meeting a dude named Star from New York. And he was my old celly at one point. And he was one of the first Bloods that I met too. But when I met him, I knew he had like big rank. He was ranked up. And like I said, he was from New York. He was a cool nigga. You know what I mean? I like the style, man. Him clicked ASAP, man. You know what I mean? And he was one of the leaders. He was with the shits. So with that being said, they had nobody to fight. They had nobody to go against with, because it was a lot of Crips. So the first time I seen them get into it with the Crips, goddamn, they called the code as we getting off the yard. I hear them call the code to 2 building. So I didn't see what happened in 2 building, but I was actually in the block Matter of fact, I wasn't in 4 building. They moved my pod from 4 building to the only population pod in 3 building. 3 building is segregation, which is the whole. They have 4 pods in there. 3 pods, that's the whole. 1 pod is a population pod. A lot of dudes that's in that pod, they work in the whole. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they had 3 pods of the whole of 88 motherfuckers on Sussex. Like, that's how many niggas be going to the hole. So we had a big hole on Sussex. Like, we had 3 pods. Like, a lot of spots got like just 1 pod that's for the whole, you know what I mean? But Sussex had a big pod. So they actually, they had to fix something in our pod. I forgot what they said they was fixing in 4D, but they moved us from 4D to 3D. So now I'm in 3 building. So when I'm in the joint, it was 3 cool ass bloods in there. It was only probably like 4 of them in my pod. But the ones that was in there, one of them name was Zeus and one of them name was Pimp. And they were, Pimp was from Richmond. And me and him was cool as a bitch. I'm telling you, he was a cool dude, man. Me and him, short dude. Both, and the dude, Zeus, was a kind of short dude. Then they had this other little short dude that he used to run with. It was all short dudes. But long story short, when that code went off in 2 building, that goddamn something that happened. You know what I mean? They said they was in there fighting. Something, the Crip dude disrespected the blood by, you know what I mean? I think he threw a gang sign up, or he said something, or he wore a do-rag, or whatever it was. It triggered like a goddamn a whole bunch of shit. So when that happened, they got to rumbling with the dudes in 2 building. So I heard the Bloods got off on the Crips then too. I heard that because it was a lot. I told they outnumbered. So they said they got off on them in 2 building. The fight led from the inside the salad port downstairs all the way upstairs, and they fought some more. You know what I mean? So all the police had to run to that. So as we in the pod about to lock down, because we just came back from rec. You know what I mean? Like I told you, the blood dude that was in there was Pimp, Zeus, and another dude. Zeus was a dude from New York too. He looked like he was Spanish. You know what I mean? But he was cool as a bitch too. But I just ended up meeting these dudes when they moved us in the pod. So when they hear what's going on, you can see them, goddamn, they talking, you know what I mean? And the reason why they talking, because it was 1 Crip in the pod. It ain't funny, but it was 1 Crip in the pod. I ain't gonna lie, it was just 1 of them. And I remember him. He was like an older dude. Not older, but back then, if I was in my 20s, he probably was in his early 40s. But that was a little older than us, but probably in his late 40s or something like that. But he used to wear the sky blue. He had like a fro, and he used to wear the sky blue do-rag and never be tight, just be puffed up, and you had a jump. And I didn't even, like, I'm so green, I'm not even looking at it like sky blue is part of the blue. Like, that's blue. I didn't look at it like that, because I didn't even know he was a fucking Crip. So all he used to do in the pod is play chess, come out every now and then, and really don't say nothing to a lot of dudes. So me and him never had a conversation not one time in the pod. So when the shit happened in 2 building, that shit trickled down to my pod. So all I seen was this. My cell was upstairs. I think I was in 44. I think I was in 28, maybe 28. I forgot. I was on the top tier. But they cell probably was like 3 cells down from me. Dude's cell was on the same joint, but the other way, he was like in 43. Or something like that. So when I looked up, when I was getting ready to lock down, it's about to be locked down, y'all. So I'm getting ready to go to the cell. I look up, they had his cell. All 3 of them. It's Pimp, Zeus, and another dude. They had his cell. And goddamn, I see them talking to him. So they talking to him, and goddamn, you can tell dude, they in front of him, dude his back to his cell. His back is to the door open of his cell. He talking to him, like, you know what I mean? He talking, and next thing you know, you just see Pimp take off on him, boom. And when I see Pimp take off on him, I seen the knife. I'm like, damn, his man had the knife. They hitting him with the knife. They pounding him out. I ain't even gonna lie. Long story short, they pounding that guy out, man. They pounded that guy out until the police came. You know what I mean? When the police came, they rumbled the police. That's the word. I saw it. I was right there. I had front row seat. They rumbled the police, man. I get them their respect on that, man. They went out like how they supposed to went out. The police ran in there. The police was like, all right, that's enough. No, the police running in like 8 deep, 8, 9, 10 deep. They coming in, well, all right, that's enough. So they like, cuff up. Niggas like, nah, we ain't cuffing shit up. Dude grab Pimp take off on the police, boom. They rumbling the police. I'm talking about they right downstairs in the middle of the pod, rumbling the police. Anybody that was in 3D around this time, I know y'all remember this shit. This shit was crazy. They rumbled the police. You know what I mean? They rumbled the police all the way up until the police was like, all right, y'all don't gotta cuff up. Because his man was hurt because the old dude was fighting back. But it was a 3-on-1. You know what I mean? So I don't know if like the dude, Zeus was kind of hurt. So I don't know if that came from the police or it came from the dude. But they was like, we ain't cuffing up shit, man. Look, take my man to medical, then we'll go to the hole. So they straight just bucked on the police. And the police took Zeus to medical, man. That shit was crazy, but I gave them niggas their props. And they let them niggas out the hole for that shit. That shit was crazy. They got out the hole for that, man. I gave them their props on that. I was like, man, y'all niggas maniacs, man. Real talk. But that was the first incident, man. That shit trickled down. You know what I mean? All the way to how the Bloods gonna put work in. They super deep. They gonna, you know what I mean? You outnumbered. If you ain't gonna get no fair one, they gonna do you dirty. There's no sense in even going against them. The Crips really didn't have no, you know what I mean? They didn't have enough, you know what I mean, at the time. It wasn't enough coming in the system. You know what I mean? Now, I'm gonna fast forward to 2007, 8. I'm gonna fast forward to 2007, 8. Now, this when I started seeing a little turn in the whole dynamic of the Bloods and Crips. Now, it went from not a lot of Crips to maybe just enough Crips. Still outnumbered. They still outnumbered, but just enough of them. Then out of nowhere, they start bringing in go hard niggas that was Crips. I ain't even gonna lie, they brought in a nigga from, I think he was from Norfolk. His people's from Norfolk, but Chesapeake, you know what I mean? But his name was Snoop. And he was like, for real, dudes were telling me on the land, he was a maniac on the land. Like he hate Bloods, and that was his whole MO. Like that was his whole MO. He wasn't with that shit. You know what I mean? So he came up there. Then they brought a dude named Ike from Norfolk. He came up there. Ike kind of big, a little taller than me, but had size to him. Can fight his ass off. They brought him up there. Then they brought a dude from Newport News named Flip. Flip looked like the rapper Game. That's what he looked like. He's tall. He had the bald head looking joint, got down, nice size. You know what I mean? He was just a tall, nice size Crip. And like, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do? So when I seen the change, I'm in the block now. I'm really staying my ass out the way because I'm trying to get to Lawrenceville. So like, this is like at the end of my Sussex time kind of when I'm telling y'all about this. But I ended up getting in the block with them, which was my old block 2C. Everybody that was in that block was trying to stay their ass out the way and get to Lawrenceville because you got to stay charge free for a year to get to Lawrenceville. So when I moved in that block, I'm in there with the Crips. But my man, he fought with them. You know what I mean? He know the dude, Snoop, his brother was in there. You know what I mean? His little brother. They were roommates. That's crazy. When I come in the pod, they roommates. He got his little brother. He in there and his little brother's his roommate. The dude Ike is in there and the dude Flip is in there. Now, it's still Bloods in there now. It's still Bloods in there. It's still a decent amount of Bloods. And the Bloods had their chest stuck out for a long ass time against the Crips. But when, like I told you, shit changing now. Shit is changing. This a couple years later. Shit is changing. The Crips, you know, it's a matter of time for some go hard Crip niggas come up there. Because I heard the Crips was forming in Norfolk and in Tidewater. So it was a matter of time for niggas start coming to prison. You know what I mean? So these particular dudes I'm talking about, they was with the shits. You know what I mean? Period. So they in there. So the Bloods is in there too, you know what I mean? But like I told you, niggas is trying to stay out the way. Majority of everybody's trying to stay out the way. So, like I say, my man rock with them. You know what I mean? My man. So I'm like, damn, like he rock with them. I end up getting cool with them, I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Because besides the dude Flip, that looked like the Game, he was the only one that wasn't from Norfolk, for real. I mean, the dude Ike, he was from Norfolk, and the dude Snoop and his brother was basically from Norfolk. You know what I mean? Because if they won't, it was like they was on the borderline of Norfolk anyway, like South Norfolk, like, but I can't remember where they was from. But the dude Snoop, man, he was like a real quiet dude though, like, you know what I mean? He, like they said, like, you know, for real, where he was at, he had to be safe and kind of stable over there with us because, like I said, he was over there with us and he had a few of his Crip homies, you know what I mean? And his brother was over there, his little brother. So him going to a lot of blocks, a lot of dudes wanted him. A lot of Blood dudes wanted him for, they said, some shit that happened on the street. Like, they, you know what I mean? He's finally in penitentiary. And like, when shit like that happened, dudes be trying to get back. So a lot of dudes wanted him bad. They wanted him bad. You know what I mean? But he was over there with us. So like, he didn't really mingle outside. And for real, I don't blame him for being smart. That wasn't being soft or none of that. That was being smart because he did a lot of shit on the street probably. And a lot of dudes wanted his ass. So he was over there with us and he was over there with his homies. So one day, they get into it. I forgot why they got into it with the Bloods. But The dude, Ike from Norfolk, he get into it with a blood. And when he got into it with him, they was coming down the steps. Now, our steps, picture a house step, but longer, like, and going up a house steps, but longer, like, and steel. This shit is steel steps. So they coming down the steps, and it was a bald head dude. I forgot where he was from, but he was a blood. They coming down the steps, and as they talking, the blood just pushed Ike, man. And like, for real, he could have fucking died. For real, the way he stumbled, but the way he caught himself, he fell, he missed like 5 steps. But if he would have caught one of them steps, he probably would have broke his goddamn neck, but the dude pushed him. He goddamn missed like 5 steps and landed on his shoulder. Boom. He get up. When he get up, dude, see, he get up from that shit. Dude try to swing, man. He grabbed that nigga, man. Ike grabbed that nigga. Boom. He dumped his ass. He got on top of that man. And listen, you know when you fight in the pod, I already told y'all what they do. They shooting your ass. So now everybody's watching it, right? So when I look, I'm about to dump the gun. But when I'm looking, I see Snoop. Snoop down there with the knife. He holding him down. He waiting. He waiting. He like, yeah, nobody better don't jump in. Now I'm like behind like it's a middle little brick wall by like where the steps is at, but it's by the cells up top. So I'm right there, but I'm looking. I got a good view of down what's going on. I got on top of the nigga. Goddamn, I'm talking about he's bodying dude. He got him in a position where it's all heavy punches to the face. So he's punishing dude. The lady in the booth shooting the gun. Boom, 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 boom. I'm talking about she dumping it, but they kind of a little far, so she hitting. But the dude Snoop, not Snoop, but the dude Ike, he done got down, boom, he get on top of the nigga, and now he choking the nigga, but the way he choking him, he using him for a shield, and the lady just shooting, his bullets flying everywhere, niggas is looking, the dude Snoop kind of on the side, he ducking guns, he got the knife, he holding him down, goddamn, dude had like 3 blood homies in there. Nobody helped, man, goddamn. The people finally ran in. Boom, the people ran in. Goddamn, he like, stop, y'all, stop that shit. I got up off that nigga. Gave him one more to the face, man. I'm talking about like, his face was already down, but he kicked him the back of his head into the joint, the concrete. The hard jump, man. Fuck, that was one of them jumps you turn your head. Stomp this goddamn face in. You know what I mean? They locked him up. You know what I mean? That was that, man. So the word around the word, so now I told you the bloods are super duper deep. So man, I swear to God, I wish I could remember the dudes that was in, because I'm kind of cool with the dudes where the situation happened with. So the bloods that didn't help, now the bloods is calling a meeting. And so for the bloods that didn't help, it's one of the bloods that was acting like he was going hard the whole time up there. You know what I mean? So now the bloods, they telling him to come, look, we gotta have a meeting. Why the hell you ain't help? They want answers. They want them niggas for real, but I told you they can't get them, because around this time, Sussex kind of like, ain't like how it was back when I first got up there. I was telling y'all how the yard was sweet, and you know it won't like that no more. They had shit segregated, fences everywhere. I'll get to that later. But they couldn't get to them niggas. You know what I mean? So now, goddamn, them niggas like, yo, that shit was a one-on-one. I forgot how they settled that shit, but it was over with. Probably a week later, the dude that looked like the game flipped from Newport News. Man, I seen this dude, bro. He came, he was dying to fix one of them niggas. I know he was, because he was bigger than all them niggas. He was bigger than a lot of them niggas. Man, that's my word. His cell is where my old cell was at. I was telling y'all back in 34, the cell that's like no man's land, that's where his cell was at. So he get into it with the blood nigga. So the blood nigga got them talking all that shit, and this was another blood nigga that's supposed to go hard. They was talking shit back and forth, going to cell. Them niggas went in the cell. Man, Flip fixed that nigga, man. That's my word. Now, I didn't go see witness, because they witness cell. You know what I mean? Usually when niggas do that, is a nigga homeboy, another nigga, and nigga make sure ain't no bullshit. So niggas ain't all around the cell, because that alert the police. But he went in there and punished that man. He beat the shit out that man. He beat the shit out that man. I'm talking about, he beat the shit out that blood dude, man. And goddamn, matter of fact, I'm tripping, y'all. We wind the tape. The cell 34 wasn't Flip cell. It was the blood dude cell. Because after and the reason why I know this is because after he beat him up, he wrote Crip on his wall in blood. In his own blood after he pounded dude, man. I knew dude right then I knew dude was a maniac. I was like, this dude is a psycho. This dude is a psycho, man. I ended up running into him again on Lawrenceville, but yeah, he, like, me and him was alright, man. But that shit was nuts, man. Like, at first it was no Crips. The Bloods just was so goddamn deep. Now, I could tell y'all a whole bunch of shit when Bloods got into it with a lot of civilian niggas and shit got real. That all, you know what, they really didn't have nobody to beef with. So when usually it was beef with like regular dudes, you know what I mean? Like regular dudes used to be happy to try to fix that type shit. You know what I mean? So like that shit used to be crazy, man. But it was just wild, y'all, experiencing the goddamn no gang members in prison. And then some months go by and it's 1,000 Bloods, 1,000 of them, 1,000. I'm talking about on Lawrenceville, like it was crazy. Like, I'm gonna get to that, man. Like, that, it was a lot of goddamn gang members, man. Like, for real, that's all the system is now. You know what I mean? Like, back then, like I told you, somebody got know some, it's always a gang member from the city, your city, boom, 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 shit can get settled. Now, I'm pretty sure the gang members just stick with the gang. That's what it is. That city shit don't matter, because that's kind of how I was seeing how I was before I left. But the first time I seen gangs in prison was crazy, y'all. The moral of the story is this, man. Stay y'all ass out the way. And y'all don't gotta come do time with them maniacs, man. I'm telling you, man, like, them niggas stand on business. A lot of them niggas got a lot of time, and they ain't bullshitting. If you old soft-ass nigga, them niggas gonna make you pay, they gonna extort you, they gonna all that type of time. So if you ain't trying to experience none of that shit, man, stay y'all ass out the way, man. That's the moral of the story. Stay y'all ass out the way. You not trying to come see them gang members, because they super deep in the system. They run the system. It's more than them than regular niggas now. I'm telling y'all, it's more than them than the old niggas that been doing time. The gang members run that shit, man. So stay y'all ass out the way for you ain't gotta experience that, man. Please, man. But other than that, man, hit the like button on this shit, man. No, I'm messing with y'all. Please hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the, you know, share me around, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Staying out the way. Trey, man, I'm coming, man. Let's go.